Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with my disembodied voice here, Mike Egan. He's on the phone calling from Florida. That's how dedicated he is. And how you told us the weather looks pretty good down there.
Yeah, Gary, I've been here since last week, and it's been 70 every day, but 37 at night. So it's a little chilly at night, but during the day it's just beautiful.
Oh yeah, we'll get that little violin out and give you that sob music for having to suffer through 37-degree nights down in Florida.
Yeah, but, and this is I'm up in the northern part, up in the Panhandle of Madison, Florida, and it's not a lot of palm trees, but they have those those old Alabama trees that where the moss hangs down, and it's quite the spot.
Well, you're helping one of your friends out with his palace or his castle down there, so at least you're doing something good. So it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun deal. He purchased this thing about a year and a half ago, and finally getting around to getting her redone. And it's amazing how much work has to be done. So, but being so nice out, I volunteered to work out in the yard.
Yeah, where all the snakes are.
Well, I've only seen a couple black zephyrs, one rattlesnake, and yesterday I was able to see there's a lake right next to him here. There's a big old gator out there, probably older than me, and he's big.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty safe place to live, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
so how are things in Hibbing?
Well, it's better than I'm thinking it's going to be, but it's windy today, which always obviously in the wintertime wind's no fun. But but if it's going to be in the 30s, I guess that's not too bad. So
no, sure beats 72.
Yeah, really beats 72. Yeah, somebody told me the other day they talked to somebody in Arizona and they said, yeah, it's been kind of cool down here. It's been in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, we feel really bad for you that you're in the 70s in January. Oh, no.
Well, we should be.
Oh, no. So what's going on up in the world of sports up there in good old Hibbing at the high school?
Well, that we can actually talk about? Yeah.
Well, we can talk about, yes.
Yeah, okay. But, the Wrestlers got beat by Grand Rapids like 47-33 last night. That was in Hibbing, and it's always a rivalry when the Thunderhawks come over here, and they just kind of blitzed us from like 130 pounds to like 160 pounds. They ran off, I think, 27 straight points or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then Hibbing kind of rebounded at the top, but they won 4 of the last 5 matches, and it's too bad they didn't get that 5th one because that might have helped them out, but
yeah.
They're young, and there's too many forfeits. I believe they only had 2, but you can't give up 6 points like that. At least if you're going to give 6 points up, get pinned. At least have somebody in those spots, I guess. Giving up, 12 free points isn't good.
Yeah.
But,
they have 5 or 6 wrestlers that have a potential to go to the state tournament. That's what I've heard, anyways.
Well, yeah, there's Christian Jelly. He won by fall. Bryson Larrabee won by fall. Thomas Hagen won by fall. Cooper Hendrickson won by forfeit. And Ian Larrabee wrestled at heavyweight and won a 6-1 decision. They're still missing Drew Shea, though, who told me the other day that he's got like maybe another week before he comes back because he broke his wrist in football. So, hopefully he's in shape. I mean, I hope he's been keeping himself in shape because it's going to be tough coming back off an injury like that.
Right.
So,
right. So boys hockey, girls hockey?
Boys hockey took care of Moose Lake, Rollo River the other night, 15-2.
Wow.
Yeah, I hate to say, but that was probably a given right there. Moose Lake, I mean, good for Moose Lake for having a program and stuff, but when it comes to having to compete against, the top teams in the section, they're not going to do it, I don't think.
Right.
I don't want to cut them down either, but it's just tough. I mean, Hermantown probably doesn't even play them, so it's because they got one of the toughest schedules in the state. But but you have to play these teams because it helps. It helps their programs out just like it helps our Well, it
Yep.
helps their program out more than it helps our program out. So, but a lot of guys padded their stats that night, so it's,
It's all right.
yeah, no, that's okay. You got to get the goal sometime, somehow. So it's a good
Yeah.
thing that they
Well, especially if you're senior looking to go on after high school. It's always nice to have nice stats when you go to talk to a college.
yeah, yeah. Okay, if you can call it that, I'll let you
Yeah.
have that one. Just because
Okay.
you're not here. But
All right. Hey,
um,
speaking because I'm not there, who's our sponsor today?
I don't have any coffee today, so it's
No latte today?
no, I haven't been able to get out there yet. So,
Okay.
but our official sponsor is Caribou Coffee.
Careful, coffee.
So, you know, I see commercials now on the TV for them during during like Vikings, or not Vikings games, but like Wolves or Wild. They have
Wild.
Caribou
Yep.
coffee breaks. So good. At least they're getting it out there.
Well, that's good. Maybe they'll put us on there and they'll say tune in to our show so they can learn a few things.
I don't know what they're going to learn, but yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that'll help us
Well,
our ratings out.
there you go.
Girls basketball was beaten by Grand Rapids the other night. Not a surprise. Rapids will probably win the section here. Taryn Hamlin scored 24 points and actually hit her 2,000th point in the first half with about 5:38 to go in the game, or in that first half. So
Yeah.
that's a milestone for her. So congratulations to her on doing that.
Hey,
You know, it almost sounds like 1,000 points isn't that big of a deal anymore, but
no,
getting to 2,000 and 3,000 seems to be that milestone mark.
it's still quite an accomplishment, though.
Oh yes, no, 1,000 points is you know, because I mean you're only doing it. I mean, you only get 26 games a year or a season. Not like the NBA where you can score 1,000 points in 20 games maybe. You know,
Yeah,
so
they play such great defense
Yeah.
in the NBA.
so yeah, so no, good, you know, good for her. Boys basketball was off. Got beat by that. Now I'm going to forget their name. HGA. You weren't here last week. Yeah, I was at Academy down in St. Paul.
Oh, okay.
And I can never remember what the H stands for.
That's not Holy Christian Academy, is it?
No, it was it's something H Ground Academy, but I cannot
Oh.
never remember the first name of them. But they could come out and play. I mean, Hibbing actually had a lead, 61-60 in the second half, then got outscored and lost 76-66.
Oh, okay.
Higher Ground Academy, that's what it was. Higher.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Producer.
Yep.
I got
Yeah.
two disembodied voices around me today, so it's really weird. Well, yeah, one's actually here, but you never
Yeah.
see him. But
Well, when the third voice comes in from down below and says, "We're waiting for you,"
yeah, then I better get out of this chair and get the
You
heck
better
out
get
of
out of
this.
the chair.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
better get the heck out of the building. But no, they were, you know, I talked to one of the assistant coaches before the game, and he and the head coach had worked together in Saudi Arabia. They've lived over there. And then he
Wow.
said I said, well, what do you like about the winters here? And he goes, well, I used to live in China, so I'm kind of used to the
Yeah.
cold weather. So
Oh, yeah.
that guy's been around. I mean, he's
I was gonna say, yeah, pretty international coaching staff for a high school.
yes, and they weren't that bad. I mean, it was a game Hibbing had a chance to win, and
Yeah.
they just let it slip away. But when you're young like Hibbing is, you're going to have to go through the growing pains. You're going to have to learn how to win, and that's all it's going to come down to.
Yeah. I bet that other school doesn't recruit.
Well, actually, it's hard to say because they only have the one sport in the school, boys basketball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I looked online
Oh,
at the
wow.
State High School League, and that's the only sport they have there at this moment.
Huh.
And it's their first year as a sanctioned sport in the Minnesota State High School League, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah.
but
More power to 'em.
yeah, no, and Hibbing's going down there to play them I think in about, well, probably now 4 weeks, I think. So sometime in February, they'll be heading down to St. Paul to play higher ground again. And, maybe by then, maybe we'll, hopefully we have a couple wins under our belt. But I know they go Saturday, they go down to Hermantown to play Duluth-Denfeld. It must be some kind of Lake Superior conference, like Jamboree or something.
Jamboree?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that'll take place down there. Girls hockey actually snapped a 10-game losing streak the other Monday night against Moose Lake, winning 4-3 in overtime. I think it was Kendall Gustafson got the winning goal, I believe. And then they played Rock Ridge the next night, and they lost 5-1 to Rock Ridge. So
Oh,
now that streak starts again. That negative side of that streak starts again. Hopefully they can
right.
snap it a little
Break
bit
it.
sooner, than
Yep.
the last one. But again, you don't want to make excuses, but again, they're missing their best player.
Yep.
I mean, and does she make a difference in an 11-0 game or a 9-0 game? No, maybe not, but maybe a little bit. But when you're playing all the teams that you're capable of, having a close game with, she makes a big difference.
Right. Well, and that takes away her not being there. The other team doesn't have to concentrate too much on how they're going to protect against their best players. So, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, that's a fact, but you don't want to keep bringing it up because it's happened. It
Right.
happened in November, and that's what they've been dealt, and they have to play with it for the rest of the year. Well, hopefully not, but I'm sure they will.
Well, it's a team game. Everybody's got to help out, right?
Well, everybody else gets a chance to step up into different positions and to make a difference, and hopefully,
Right.
Hopefully the team's growing, which I do believe they are. But it's still tough. I don't care.
Yep.
But
Just the winter season in Hibbing.
yeah. Let's see. I hate to
Skiing? That all done yet?
skiing. They had a meet yesterday. I haven't found out the results yet, so I can't hand out anything there. I have to give Zach Johns though a call up because he's our skiing writer.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. No, he follows the team around, and he handles both Rock Ridge or Mesabi. I think it's Rock Ridge, and then it's Hibbing. So he's a fair writer. He does both sides.
Oh.
And you'll see, if you see his name, that if you know who he is, all I can do is thank him. I can't thank him enough for offering his help when it comes to the skiing.
Right.
So. We'll get that story, I'm sure, from him today, so I'll know a little bit
Good.
more. But
Alrighty.
Boys hockey, did you talk about that?
yeah, boys hockey. Yeah, actually, the girls hockey team was supposed to play Proctor Hermantown here on Friday, and I guess they got out of the contract for some reason.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, why? I mean, that's
Yeah.
Hermantown a couple years ago pulled out of a basketball contract with us. Now maybe because they beat us 11-0, I don't know. Maybe they don't think we're worth playing.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else they're going to pick up at this point of the season to add that game. I mean, maybe they
Right.
had somebody in mind, and maybe that's why they did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's amazing how some of those other schools can do whatever they want. Hibbing tries to do something, and we get lambasted for it.
yeah, you're absolutely right. You'd know more about it than I would, but I don't know. I don't know how you can just pull out of a contract like that. And
Yeah.
although it's not monetarily, it's not like it's a monetary contract or anything.
Right.
It's just,
Yeah, it's not like they're a small college that's going to get paid a lot of money to play in the Rose Bowl.
no. So that, but I think what Pete told me was I think they were going to try to pick up Fort Francis and play them Saturday in Chisholm. I haven't heard, but that was the plan as of when I talked to them Tuesday night. They wanted to get Fort Francis and play probably Saturday afternoon in Chisholm.
Oh, okay.
And then the boys, I said, basketball team plays Saturday. I believe it's in the morning against Denfeld. So that'll be another tester for them. Hopefully they, pick up some more learning.
Yep.
goes through that learning process again, maybe they can give Denfeld a game. Who knows?
That's, like you said, let's just hope the kids and the coaching staff doesn't get frustrated and just, keep building the program.
Well, and it's going to be hard. I mean, but
Yep.
what are you going to do? That's the way it is this year, and it's just going to have to play itself out.
Right.
Uh,
What do we got left? How much time you got there?
oh, boys swimming. Oh yeah, we got plenty of 13 minutes because we got
Oh, hell. Whoops.
yeah.
I better go in the shade here. I might get sunburned.
What do we? Oh, swimming. They just got beat by Rock Ridge the other night, Tuesday night, home meet here, and now they host the Section 6 True Team meet Saturday. I believe with diving starts at 9, and I think diving starts at 9, and I think swimming starts at 1. So they'll see. It should be a good meet with Rock Ridge, Rapids, Hibbing,
Yep.
Mesabi East, very good.
Well, it should be a pretty good barometer as far as how well they're doing and how far they've come.
That's
since the
right.
beginning of the year.
And they had a decent meet. They went down to the maroon and gold meet at the University of Minnesota last week. Placed 10th in the bronze division, and Coach Venziano said they swam really well, but on Tuesday night, it was lackluster.
Yeah.
They did not swim well for some reason, but he's hoping that changes for Saturday.
Well, if you know Coach Venziano, he'll make sure that they swim better.
Yeah, he didn't seem too upset about it though. Maybe
Yeah.
he kind of figured after the traveling and the meet they had that they might come down, but yeah, no, Rock
Right.
Ridge swam well and deserved to
Good.
win that meet. That I think wraps it up for the high school. The college here, I know the men lost 2 games over the weekend, and then they played last night, I believe in Rainy River, but I haven't heard about that one yet, so I'm not sure how they did.
Well, you better go check your telegraph on that one.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be on there. The score sheet will be posted on their website, so I'll go find that. The big news, obviously, in the professional world of sports is Carlos Correa.
Yep.
What was your take on that?
Well, I saw that when I was down here, and I thought he signed with the Mets. But then someone said, no, he flunked the physical. And then he was going to sign with someone else, and he flunked that physical. So the Twins have a separate physical than the other teams?
I don't know. I mean, what it sounds like is he had a plate put in his ankle a few years ago.
Minor league.
Yeah, when he was in the minor leagues, and evidently when you're dishing out a 13-year contract, I suppose you really want to know that he's going to hold up physically.
Yeah.
And obviously in his interview, Correa said that he takes care of his body constantly. So I mean, he's not going to break down that way. And last year he missed time, but he didn't miss time because of that ankle.
Right.
I think he
Right.
got hit.
Oh,
He got hit by a pitch in his hand and missed some time. So
I mean, he's a great player to have on the team, not only with his ability, but just his leadership along with some of the younger kids is great. But $200 million?
well, evidently, I think it's for 6 years.
With the option.
$200 million?
Yeah, yeah, and it's actually more money than both the Giants and the they offered him over $300 million, but for over like 10 or 13 years.
Yep. Yep.
So I think it's actually more money the Twins are giving him, and it might be more up front, but I don't get into that contract stuff. I don't know what to say about that.
Plus a piece of the ownership.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that would be nice because then maybe he could actually get some players because we know we need some
Right.
pitching. We still need some pitching, but
Yeah. Well, I see all the hype starting now, and they keep hyping up Buxton. He's going to be what are they going to hype him up for? 2 months, 3 months?
the two, yeah.
Because he'll be out the rest of the year after that. So
Well, that has to change. I mean, if they want to really be serious about making a run, Buxton has to stay healthy.
yeah,
Of course, Correa has to stay healthy. They have that new catcher now. I can't remember his name right off.
the guy from Houston.
Yeah, off the top of my
Yeah.
head, I can't remember his name, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
hopefully.
was kind of upset they got rid of the third baseman there.
Or yeah, Gio Urshela. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why they decided to do that. I honestly I don't. I mean, I know Miranda's had a decent year as a rookie, but I would
Well,
have
maybe
kept him.
maybe they'll bring Sano back since nobody signed him.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. That's going to be interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah.
But you know,
But,
Joey Gallo. I mean, hopefully,
Yeah.
you know, with no shift this year. Hopefully, he's, you know, if he strikes out 150 times, hopefully he hits 45 home runs.
Yeah.
That's all you can hope for with him, I think. Unless he hits for average like 250 or something.
Yeah.
But the
But again, as
pitching.
you said,
Oh, go.
pitching's got to be
Huh?
like I said, the pitching. That's where their downfall is going to be.
Well, but when I look at it, they don't have they don't have that number one guy like a Scherzer or a Verlander. Well, Verlander's getting older, so I mean, who
Yeah.
knows how much longer he has to be, you know, proficient at it. But you know, if you have Sonny Gray and you have Kenta Maeda and you have Joe Ryan, and I won't be able to think of the other guy's name probably,
They
but.
just picked up a pitcher from the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean that's a start. Sonny Gray, if I didn't mention him, I mean that's a start of a decent staff.
Yeah.
If obviously if Maeda can come back from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
But
Well, I didn't want to upset you, you know, but one of the signs of senility is that you repeat guys' names 3 times.
all right,
So far, Gray's name's come up twice. So
all right.
You don't
so-
have to mention him again.
All right. No, thank you. Yeah, thanks for that. I'll
You know,
be thinking
I see a lot of that down here in Florida with the older population.
of senility.
All I hang out with,
But yeah,
especially
so
playing. Sorry, go ahead.
no, that's well. So we'll see. I mean, spring training. Hey, starts like less than a month.
Yeah, maybe I'll stay down for that.
You might be going back there for that. You'll have to go down there and be our Twins reporter.
Well, I think we mentioned that we should come down and do a show down here.
No, you think
Is
they'd
that in
let?
the HPA budget?
Yeah, what's that budget like?
As long as Mike pays for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. You'll be closed on your restaurant by then, so you'll have
Yep.
plenty
Yep.
of money to get us down there. So
Yeah, I doubt that.
no. But yeah, but now okay. Now the other big news is obviously the playoffs are starting for the NFL on Saturday, and the Vikings play at 3:30 on Sunday against the Giants. Your thoughts on that one?
Well, you know, one of the nice things being down here is there's no television here. And it's been nice, but you read the papers and what I can see from the local paper down here, you know, they think the Giants, of course, there's probably a lot of New Yorkers, they think the Giants are going to win. They think you're going to beat the Vikings.
Well, it took a 61-yard field goal to beat them the first time they played
Right.
them back in December. So I mean, it's not out of the question.
No,
But I don't know why. I don't know why that would be such a surprise. Just because we finished 13-4 and had 11 one-score victories, that doesn't mean the
Yep.
Giants are any worse or better than we are.
yeah, well, that just got them ready for the playoffs, so that, you know, when they get in the playoffs and they need a score to win a game, they have plenty of practice doing it. So.
Well, the problem is the history of this team in the playoffs isn't that great.
No.
So anything's possible as far as that goes.
Yeah, well, 4 times to the Super Bowl. And how many wins?
No, and the last one was 76, 77?
76.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a big dry spell. But this team, I mean, maybe they can keep this streak going. I mean, we'll
Yeah.
see. I mean, San Francisco's got a rookie quarterback. Now, the rest of their team's decent, but how is he going to handle the pressure?
Yeah.
Philadelphia, I don't know if Hurts doesn't play, they're beatable.
Yeah.
But
Hey, Green Bay lost. That's all that matters.
yeah, I feel sorry. I kind of feel bad for Kerry over at Super One because I haven't
Yeah.
seen him since that happened, so I don't know how he's feeling. But
You got to get him a bag of those. The Doritos came out with that new bag with the picture of the quarterback on there,
Oh yeah.
and it says Nacho Day.
Not your day.
Anyway, the Wild picked up a point against the Rangers.
The Wild picked up a point against the Rangers, which is, I mean, it's too bad they don't win, but it doesn't matter if we give the Rangers 2 points. If we get one, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Islanders tonight.
I think they'll be all right, but I guess if we have time, I think you should tell me who you think's going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't want to be thinking about this for a minute, but
Okay.
it's hard to say.
I don't
I
want to
would give-
overload your brain.
I would either give it to, if it's an NFC team, I'd have to think Philadelphia, or if it's an AFC team, I'd probably have to go with Buffalo.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go San Francisco and Cincinnati.
Okay. But the nice Super Bowl would be Minnesota and Buffalo, because then it'd be 2 0-4 teams, and
Yep.
somebody would have to get that first win.
Somebody would have to win, right?
Yeah, so that would be the dream Super Bowl, I think. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody across the country would care, but
Well,
that'd
I
be
think
too
the people
bad.
in Buffalo would love to see that trophy come home.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure people here would like to see that trophy
Yeah.
come home, because then
Yeah.
Green Bay would have nothing over us, finally.
Right.
But
That's a better team.
yeah, and then the Timberwolves, obviously, they just dropped another game to the Detroit Pistons.
Jeez.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know. They had just won 4 in a row, and they were playing an awful Pistons team that has the fewest wins in the league. And
13 wins.
Yep.
yeah, and then they get beat.
Any word
by-
on when the Cat's supposed to be back?
No, I haven't heard. Last time we talked about it, I had heard February, but if that's the case, then I don't know. Fold it up. I know this. They were 20-21 going into last night's game, and had
Yeah.
a chance to get to 500 against a bad team, and they blew it. So
You know what a black zephyr is?
no.
I just had one go across the front
Oh.
of me in the lawn here. It's about 6 feet long. Took a look at me and said, "Oh, you doing the show? I'll leave you alone."
Yeah, he's going to go turn on his HPAD here. He's going to go online
Yeah.
and turn on HPAD and watch it. Said, hey,
Yeah.
I saw that guy. I know who he is.
No, really, one just went across the grass out here.
All right. Well, hey, we don't have much time, but hey, thanks for joining us from Florida.
Yeah, thanks for calling, and hopefully I should be back next week. I hope.
Well, you couldn't get back because of the computer glitch.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful country we live in.
yes.
It's great, but I tell you what, we've got some antiquated equipment that needs to be upgraded.
Upgraded. All right, for Mike Egan,
I'll get
I'm
Ron.
Gary
I'll get
Gimbetti.
Ron on it.
Yeah, I'm Gary Gimbetti for Mike Egan. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.